What's going on, traders? It is Will with Trader Society. Within this video, I'm going to be showing you how to trade the best setups with the best prices with the top stock options that I'm going to be watching into this week. This video is going to prepare you to make money into this week, so make sure you smash that like button. I got some great opportunities lined up for you. I've been very sick. I have an upper respiratory infection, sinus. It started last Sunday. It's been a week now. I should have been on antibiotics a lot earlier. What I've learned is if you're feeling hot-headed, to get the antibiotics right away. But yeah, it started off with a very bad fever at night, and I had multiple fever nightmares. Like I was dying multiple times. Those are the worst. If you have fever nightmares, oh my gosh, those are the worst. Then it escalated into a cough and a lot of congested mucus. So I still have the cough, I still have the mucus, but with that being said, I am feeling a lot better, and I should be 100% hopefully by Wednesday. So with that being said, I did decide to continue to trade every single day last week, and it was one of my best trading weeks because fortunately for me, I had a big position size, which is something I normally don't do with options. And with that big position size, I had a big percentage win, which is the best combination you can get. I had a 70% win on a Viru put option. I'll be recapping that trade towards the end of this video. My portfolio had one of its record-breaking weeks due to that trade. It ended up making a 28% return on my portfolio last week, which was game-changing because I'm typically trying to make 2 to 3% on the day. So let's get right into these setups, guys. These are going to be some amazing setups. I'm telling you, one of the most painful things was not being able to make these videos. I love making these videos. I love teaching. I love sharing, these great opportunities with you guys, and just not being able to do that last week was very painful. So I'm going to keep my health in top priority. And I'm really just not interested in like partying or drinking or anything like that just anytime soon. I just want to stay really focused and healthy because getting sick is not a good experience. So let's get right into this. So in terms of our top setups, let's go over the SPY. The SPY looks very bearish. Does this look bullish to you, right? We are at key make it or break it support right here. You can see this is previous resistance that has been acting as a support level for 3 days straight. And during these 3 days, SPY has been bottoming out towards this previous resistance right here, but it's been forming lower highs, right? You can see its highs right here at 445.75. It's got more lower highs at 444, and you got more lower highs coming in towards 444. It's closing weak at the lows, and does this look bullish to you? Absolutely not. This is a strong bearish candlestick. It's failed to break out towards this channel multiple times. SPY is looking extremely bearish, and once it cracks this 437.78, you can see the next overall support level on the daily is going to be towards $434. So overall right now, SPY on the daily looks very bearish, and the VIX looks very bullish. So when the VIX goes up, the SPY goes down. And if you look at the VIX has been trading in this channel since March 21st. It's been trading in this channel for nearly a month now, where it bottoms at 23.90 and it tops at 26.30. You can see multiple times it just goes back and forth, right? And if you look at the VIX, this is a very bullish candlestick coming in towards the middle of that price channel. So the VIX is getting ready to retest this $26, and I think it's just bound to break above this $26. Once it does, then the VIX is really going to start to run. My whole theory with the SPY is this is like a whole midterm. You guys see the rain in the back. It's like it's thundering like crazy right now. But yeah, my whole theory with the SPY right now is going to be there's a gap to fill at 417. I think within the midterm, within like, I would say like 2 months, that gap is really going to start to fill. Within 1 to 2 months, we're going to see a 417 gap fill, which is the best price to buy the SPY call options, right? So I also think long term, we're going to see some gap fills right here. We're going to see a gap fill at 447. We're going to see a gap fill at 451. That's where we're currently at with the SPY. It's a very sideways channel, and it's been filling the gaps. It filled a gap towards 462, towards 464 right here, had a partial gap close reversal, came back down ever since to try to fill this gap at 417. SPY is not looking bullish. Very, very bearish heading into this week. So what are going to be the top setups? Airbnb. I want you to keep Airbnb on the radar, right? So SPY, SPY is going to be on track to really crack this previous resistance into support heading into the week. So I want to find something that's trading towards major resistance, right? And I'm looking at what's trading towards major resistance, and I'm looking at Airbnb. Airbnb is at major resistance. You can see right here there was a gap to fill at 171.21. We filled the gap 2 days in a row. It reacted as a support level. Now on the second day, it's starting to react as a resistance level. So technically only 1 day it reacted as support. And you can see it's a channel. This is a strong support channel right here at 171. Strong support. Where does it like to go? It likes to push towards your middle 175 range. Like it did on this day, it got to 174.64, but it faked out, right? So the market's looking bearish. Airbnb recently gapped up. It recently exploded up. It had an overreaction. It closed this gap. Now you have this bearish candlestick coming in on the daily. This is a very, very bearish candlestick. So it's just a matter of time before Airbnb snaps. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but within a few days, by the end of this week, I could see this really taking a hit and starting to fill this gap. You have a gap to fill right here at 160.11. So if we can get Airbnb to react as a resistance level at 170.70, and by the way, this goes for these stocks on these lists. If these stocks gap down, the best price is to short them, to buy the puts, is at the previous closing price. Where they closed on Friday is where you should be interested in buying puts if they gap down tomorrow, which is what they're currently on track to do. So with that being said, for Airbnb, once we can get this 177 retest to react as a resistance level, we're going to be looking for a pullback towards 167, 166, looking for a pullback, looking to play some Airbnb put options for a nice gap fill play heading into this week, right? So that's going to be the number one watch. One of my number one watch is Airbnb put options. The strategy is a gap close reversal to fill the gap below, looking at this support to react as a resistance, right? So we get some bearish confirmations in the low 170s. Look to buy puts on that. Veru, VERU. This is very, very bearish. Does this look like a bullish candlestick to you? This doesn't look that bullish. So what I'm currently looking at on this one is, I'm looking at the chart, right? You got major resistance at 1457, major resistance at 1450s, and then you have major support in the 970s, dropped all the way to 970s, right? So with that being said, what I'm looking for on this stock is a key breakdown. I'm looking for it to crack this level right here, 1457. If we can get it under 1457, I'm looking for a key breakdown. If that cracks, we could see a very nice pullback into the 1230 range right here towards the bottom of this channel. So the idea for this one is to buy the puts when it cracks this key support level. When it goes under this 1450 level, this previous resistance that's trying to react to support, once we go under, buy the puts, ride it back down into the lower 13s, ride this back down to the overall support. You can call it the lows from Friday, which was at 1351, right around there. I'm going to be looking to ride it down a little bit lower. So just know it's make it or break it for this stock. The previous resistance must maintain a support level to continue to go up. Your previous resistance is in the 1450s, big downside potential, right? It went from 1450s all the way down to 11s the same day. Right here it gapped up. It went from 1370s all the way down to 11s the same day. This is a big downside potential level. And if it reacts to a support level, it's going to be a big upside potential level. So as of now, I have no current interest in buying this stock. I'm extremely bearish. I'm extremely bearish, short biased on this stock, just waiting for the first red day. It's pretty crazy. You know, technically, it wasn't even a first red day on Friday because it closed green. So that's awesome. This is absolutely awesome. So if we can get a breakdown under like even $15, I'll be interested. If 14.95 can react as a resistance, I'll be interested in playing puts for this one with that $15 strike. This $15 strike had a lot of volume heading into Friday. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Unfortunately, though, the option chain isn't going to be as lucrative because these expire in 33 days. So that's going to be one of the downsides with this one here moving forward. Still interested in playing it though, but that option contract that expired on Friday, those printed like crazy. The volume was over 20,000. The contracts were $1. Over $2 million were distributed throughout those contracts. Like those printed so hard, could have made 100% like 3 times that day on that one. So Walmart is actually going to be another good put opportunity, right? So I'm focused on puts heading into this week. Looking at Walmart, we're towards key resistance. We're sitting towards all-time highs. This is a very big green candle, a very overreaction. And if you're looking at the daily candle, this is not bullish. This is not a bullish candlestick right here towards the retest of resistance. So I'm looking for a breakdown. What's the breakdown I'm looking for on Walmart? $157. If it starts to go under 157, I want to buy puts and ride this back down to about 155. There's also a gap to fill below at $152.33. That'd be the game plan for Walmart, is to play the puts towards key resistance, and it's got to break down. So I'm looking for the breakdowns. I'm looking for the breakdown under 15 for Viru. I'm looking for the breakdown under 157 on Walmart. I'm looking for the breakdown under 170 on Airbnb. I'm looking for these key breakdowns at major resistance sitting levels, right? So that'd be the game plan for those. Like I said, if they gap down, the previous closing price will be the best entries heading into Monday. So Walmart overall just looks bearish. This does not look bullish. It looks like it's held up on thin air with that gap to fill below. And if we can top out at this resistance here, that gap is going to start to fill, which is at 153.23. So keep an eye on Walmart puts for the key breakdown. This is a setup that a lot of stocks are currently experiencing. Some stocks like AMD already cracked their support levels, but like Disney, they're heading towards their key support. Like Nvidia is heading towards its key support, right? I'm not too interested in Nvidia at the moment. In terms of Nvidia, I want to see how it reacts when it fills this gap at 197.32. That's about it. Really not interested in seeing how it reacts anywhere else. I do want to potentially see though, just to see 206.71. There's a gap to fill 206.71 as well. So Nvidia is trading towards some key support. They're both on track to crack into this week. Same with Disney. Disney is trading towards some key support. It's on track to crack this week. So for Disney, we have a gap to fill at 129. That's going to be the make it or break it level. 129.03 for Disney. We have a key gap fill support level. It does like to have little micro gap close reversals. So I want to see how it reacts towards that gap fill at 129.03. Be very cautious buying into gap close reversals this week. Make sure it's truly at the best price and a phenomenal support level, and you get a positive, very positive reaction, because the market is just looking very, very bearish for the micro for the time being. I'm mainly going to be put focused at the moment. Our next stock is going to be Aider stock. This doesn't look that bullish, but it can still run. It's definitely possible. I'm pretty bearish on this one. We got a double top towards this 650. We got a bearish wick coming in right here. This is not a bullish chart. In terms of the move, let's take a look here towards after hours and see what it was doing. So it's kind of flat. It was up a little bit in after hours by not much. So the key with this one is going to be 550. 550 is going to be your key support. Your key support right here, 560, 550. If that breaks out and reacts to support, it's going to start to run back up to sixes. If it reacts as a resistance and starts to break down, it's really going to try to crack that 520s and head into the 480, 475 range. So I want to see how Aider can react to this. We'll call it 565. 565 is the make it or break it level. If it breaks out, it goes to sixes. If it breaks down, it goes to under 5 in my opinion. So I want to keep an eye on Aider stock as well for a potential short heading into this week. So I would say the top plays that are lined up are going to be Airbnb, Walmart. I want to keep a close eye on the VIX. I might do something with the VIX. We're due for a $26 breakout within time on the VIX. Not saying right away. I'm keeping an eye on Aider, and those would be the main ones. Those would be the main ones: Airbnb, VERU, Walmart, the VIX, and Aider. Those would be the main ones. Aider's a tough one. That's something I always go in light on for the most part. Limit's looking pretty bearish as well. I would keep an eye on limit stock for a potential put opportunity. It looks like some of these are just kind of sitting towards the highs, failing to break out for like 5 days in a row. This looks bearish, and it does look like we are due for a pullback. So keep an eye on some limit put options as this is looking bearish. Watch the breakdown at $467. Once we can really start to crack this key support channel at 467, it's really going to start to sell off under 460. So keep an eye on limit put options as well. Just know the spread tends to be very wide, and it's not the most liquid option chain for that one. And then Roblox, the price alert that I'm waiting to buy Roblox at is going to be right here at 37.87. There's a gap to fill at 37.87. Going to be looking for a gap close reversal on Roblox. So yeah, those are going to be the top setups heading into this week. In terms of my trading was very, very good heading into hold up guys, give me 1 second. Let me fix this real quick. So yeah, heading into so last week my trading was fairly good. And it was a phenomenal week because, like I said, I hit a big winner with a big percentage return. This was the trade. It was on a VERU put option. I learned this at 9:32 a.m. And then, I got in towards 95 cents. I started averaging my cost down. It had a quick little morning rip, which is completely normal for these stocks to have little morning rips. That's why it's best to give it a couple more minutes. And then as soon as I got in, it got halted to the downside. And I sold for a 70% win, 57% win with a fairly heavy size. And that trade ended up being, like I said, on my portfolio, a 30% return. The volume was crazy on it too, man. We were hitting that strike like crazy. We got up to like 20,000 on the volume that day. Volume was crazy. A lot of members had a big impact on that one. Some of them made like 75% returns in a couple minutes. The play on that was the gap fill strategy. And I actually had a not so good trade the day before that on Aider, but I sized in light on Aider, and I lost less percentage wise too, which helped out too. But I sized in a lot less on Aider, so that definitely helped. So yeah, sizing definitely matters with options. I mean, that's key for this one. My gut told me take the chance, take the big size, take the risk. Something I really don't like doing is sizing big, but I did it this time and it worked out. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it all the time. It's very, very rare I'll do it, because if I do it and it doesn't work out, then I'll be giving back like a couple weeks of my gains, and that just sucks. But in this situation, I ended up making like a month's worth of gains within a couple minutes. Once I noticed in the pre-market, your resistance was at 1675. You topped out here, we topped out here, we topped out here. Right at the gate, we topped out, right? It just looks so bearish. Like, where is this going? It's held up on thin air. This looks very bearish. It's due for a downside. It's due to go red. I was expecting it to be the first red day. And then within these 2 minutes, it got halted. And as soon as I got in, the stock got halted. And then just 2 minutes after, like a minute after I got in, like 2 minutes after I got in, the stock got halted. And then as soon as it got halted, when a stock gets halted on the downside, it goes down more. So I held it a little bit, and then I literally got out towards the lows when this was in the 1370 to 1350 range. I got out. Then it had a gap close reversal. It's wild. It had a gap close reversal. I actually got a new high on the day, which was pretty wild. You can see right here, there was a gap to fill below at 1490. I think it was 1497. Yeah, there was a gap to fill below at $14.30 right here. As soon as it got halted and went to the downside, it cracked a little bit, which is normal because stocks go down a little bit after they get halted to the downside. And then right here, it just shot back up. and then it started turning it into a support level. Give me one moment, guys, one moment. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, it cracked and then it started to bottom out and then it shot back up. And then once you see it turns it into support right here, formed higher support right here, boom, it takes off, had a gap close reversal. And then there was multiple opportunities where you could have played puts again on this. Like you could have played puts within this towards the top, could have played puts, right here, could have played puts right here. There was like 3 more opportunities, so many opportunities to play puts on this and to even potentially go long when it reacted as support. So that worked both ways. That was a phenomenal play. Could have traded that multiple times that day. I was so tempted right here, and this was at 16. I was so tempted to get back in for puts, and I just didn't do it, man. But I was so tempted. Every time this thing rips like that, it just comes crashing right back down. So you know when to get in when it rips like that, right? Especially on that morning rip. And then it got halted to the downside. So that was the gap fill strategy. But yeah, guys, we got a very good week planned. VERU should be good. Walmart should be good. Airbnb should be good. Those are going to be the top ones. Ader is going to be interesting. Oh, and then how can I forget Tesla? So in terms of Tesla, very simple. I'm just waiting for 1022. There's a gap to fill at 1022. Once we fill that gap at 1022.37, then I'm going to be looking to play a gap close reversal on Tesla, ride it back down to $1,000 a share. So that's the whole game plan for Tesla. Big shout out to some of the members within the chat had some killer profits. Beef Supreme, he's been absolutely killing it, 100% on SPY puts. Johnny, $6,100 profit on the VERU puts, like just absolutely killing it, man, absolutely killing it. Like $6,100 on VERU puts, that's insane. That's more than 15 times the cost of Trader Society, and it's a one-time fee, it's lifetime access. Like absolutely crushing it, man. Big shout out on that. So yeah, those are gonna be the top setups heading into this week. Airbnb, VERU, and Walmart. Those are going to be the ones that are really going to hit those key levels that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. So that's going to wrap up today's video lesson. If you do want to be a part of Trader Society, it is going to be the first link down below in the description. As soon as you sign up, you get instant lifetime access to the entire program, to the video lesson library, where you learn all of the gap trading strategies, the price action trading strategies that we're using to consistently make money within the market. You also get access to the risk management, the position sizing, the psychology, the mindset training, the video lessons within the program. And then you get access to the chat room, the daily live streams that we do every single day at Market Open, where you get to watch me trade live. The real-time trade alerts within the chat room, not for you to follow, just to see what it is that I'm doing. You could use it as a scanner. And you also get access, like I said, to the chat room, to the one-on-one direct messaging. All the information is explained in the first link in the description down below. As soon as you sign up, you get lifetime instant access. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys. That's going to be that first link down below in the description. If you do want to be a part of Trader Society, we're going to be trading live tomorrow within the chat room. So I will see you guys then, and peace.